Hello, Ramley and other family. I guess I should specifically welcome in the 12s for this stream, but I am joined by the one, the only, the legend, Joe Stevens from Seahawks Talk. Joe, how are you today, my friend?
Doing pretty great. How about yourself?
Oh, dude, I am so excited and nervous and all the emotions for tomorrow. I like if it's been so long, we don't have to justify liking preseason football anymore. We can, even watching the Chiefs and Lions game was just therapy, and I'm so excited tomorrow to watch, Red Zone for the early game windows, and then when the Rams and Seahawks kick off. Oh, I don't care about my problems. I don't care about my, what my job or anything else that's going on in my life. For that, like 3 and whatever hours it takes to complete this game, I myself and you, and I'm sure many other people that are watching right now are soloed in on the Rams versus Seahawks.
Yeah,
So Joe, just before we get into it though, how long have you been doing this YouTube thing, and how's it going, and where can people find you?
I guess. So it's been what? So, like, right a month before the draft. So that would have been March. So, yeah, since March, I've been doing it. My second ever show was with you, or third show, whatever. It was one of the very first ones I came
I
on with
remember,
you.
no, that was a good stream. It's been a while, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, and then I do a weekly show on Wednesday with a 49ers guy, Ryan from No Border Sports, and then me and this lady Candace with Ethos Seahawks have been trying to do kind of a weekly thing, at least during the season. We will. So yeah, just find me at Joe Stevens Seahawk Talk. So
Cool. And I put your link to in the description below. We got to give a couple of quick shout outs here in the chat. I see Giannis is here. We got Silly Fun Guy in the house. John from Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. Good to see you as always. I like dogs, our resident Chiefs fan, who I'm sure is still getting over Thursday night, but he's saying he's going to watch the Broncos game. Okay, well, your choice, your choice. Then we got Eric here as well. Good to see y'all. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're going to dive right into it here. I thought it'd be cool for us to start off. And for those of you who are watching, if you have any comments or questions, put them in the chat. Joe and I will react to them. We're just going to do a quick preview segment, and then we want this to be an engaging show, and we're excited to hear your opinions and things like that. So I'm just going to go here. This is the ESPN game preview here.
oh sweet.
And I just yeah. So they're saying, according to their ESPN analytics, 62.7% are picking is that's the percentage of the Seahawks' chance of victory, where 37% is the Rams, and I'm guessing the difference is a tie. I don't know or something.
Yeah,
The only
yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Looks about right. I give us. I don't know anything about that. I mean, once the ball's kicked off, there's a 50-50 chance. I don't know about all
totally.
that analytics stuff. Maybe this is this like the percentage of people that pick the Seahawks to win?
No, because I actually have that as well
Okay.
in this graphic here. And shout out my Pick'em League. If you haven't joined yet, you still can, and the winner gets a jersey of their choice, so you can join that. But go to my community tab. But here in the Pick'em League, they have, of all the ESPN Pick'em users, 87% of people picked the Seahawks to win this game, and 13% picked the Rams. What do you?
Do
What
you,
do
you
you?
have you have no idea how nervous this makes me, right? Seriously, like
Okay,
I
we'll
we were
move
we
that.
were going we were going through our picks the other day on this show. I think it was on Corey Davis's channel, and everybody picked the Seahawks to win just outright. I'm like, oh my god, because every time that freaking happens, we lose by 3 points. So
Mhm,
let's see. I don't know. The Rams always play us tough. I don't
mhm.
expect it to be a blowout. I do expect us to win. I really do. There's no excuse to lose this game. This is one you gotta win on paper. We should take care of business, but as you know, football's not played on paper. So we'll
Right
see
on the
how it
field.
goes. I'm
Yeah.
expecting a slow start for the Seahawks, a slow first half. and then I expect us to kind of pull away the second half. I'm thinking we're 4-point favorites. I think we win by 10 points. I really do.
Okay.
At the end of the game, when all is said and done, I think it's going to look closer. The game's going to be closer than a 10-point game, if that makes sense. But I think by the end of the game, I think we'll be up 10 points with like maybe a minute left or something. So
no, and I appreciate the perspective. I know from the Rams fan perspective, there's a lot of different hot takes about the Rams right now. You have the people that are like, the sky is falling, Cooper Kupp is out, oh no, like we're tanking for Caleb Williams. But then you get the other like Ram fans that are like, oh, we're underrated, we're gonna make it to the Super Bowl. And I can appreciate both perspectives. I really can. I'm probably somewhere in the middle where I have this perspective of, we don't really know what this team is. There is so much turnover on the Rams, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think our scheme is going to be a lot different. I think that our both on offense and on defense, just because we had a high coaching turnover, not so much, we still have our defensive coordinator, Raheem Morris and Sean McVay, but we have a new offensive coordinator. We have a lot of new assistant coaches. We have a ton of new players. Our offensive line is healthier and retooled than it was last year when we played the Seahawks. Aaron Donald didn't even play the Seahawks last year. And I know you love Aaron Donald.
So to be honest, it's not as much Aaron. It's the presence of him, right? Yeah. He made Robert Quinn look like a bona fide first-team All-Pro every time we played the Rams, because we were so focused on Aaron Donald. That I get Robert Quinn was good, but whenever we played the Rams, I'd always think, God, what's everybody talking about Aaron Donald for? This Robert Quinn is awesome, but all the attention goes to number 99. So we'll see. We'll see it from last year. And I don't know. I just looking at the Rams roster, I don't have it in front of me, obviously, but just off the top of my head, I can't really name a lot of guys. So it's like Taylor Rapp, is he still there? And
nope, he's gone.
Okay, well, Aaron Donald.
Yeah. And it's funny because DK Metcalf, a lot of Ram fans are actually talking about this. DK Metcalf said in a press conference that a reporter asked him about, or you know what, let me get the exact quote here. So here, Joe, while I'm looking for that, share your thoughts, or what, let me ask you this. Name every Rams player on the defense besides Aaron Donald that you can name right now.
Crickets. Kobe Durant.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
Just because I remember his name. I really thought Taylor Rapp was still on the Rams, to be honest with you.
He signed a one-year deal with the Bills.
Do you still have you guys had a cornerback that wore like number 13 last year? Is that guy still there?
Wolford was 13 last year. I'm not sure who you're talking about.
Maybe it was 15. I don't know. It was because Atwell's 15. It was an odd number for a cornerback. I remember it was a number between obviously 10 and 19, but I couldn't tell you his name.
Okay. Well, you're not the only person connected to the Seahawks that said that, and we have here so today a reporter asked DK, or this was September 8th. Reporter, what are your thoughts on the Rams secondary? That's my reporter voice. And DK, this is my DK's. To be honest with you, I can't name one player in that secondary. And to which Ram fans, including myself, was like, bulletin board material. Here we go. And I'm. Oh, go ahead.
No, just if there's one guy on the Seahawks that's going to give you bulletin board material, it's either him or Diggs. So it doesn't surprise me. I'm sure he knows who they are, right? He watches tape, so it's not like that. I'm sure he's just taking a little bit of a shot. So
I'm hoping the Rams secondary, like if they win, they just like give him their autograph or something like that. I don't know, but
I would too. Yeah, for sure. So tell me your 4 or 5 defensive backs that I might remember.
Oh, you don't. You probably don't. But but so the Rams. So first, you need to know is Jordan Fuller, our starting safety, who was injured a good chunk of last year. He is an underrated safety. He's very good. He like I'm really excited about him. Then we've also brought back John Johnson III, which he was with the Rams when the Rams had the #1 defense back in 2020, and we beat the Seahawks in the playoffs.
Yep.
So John Johnson, awesome, yeah. He lost. So he went and got a big contract from the Browns. He was with them for a while, and then now he's headed back. He's with us, and secured that. We signed Witherspoon, who played for the Niners and then the Steelers.
Akello Witherspoon.
Yeah, Akello Witherspoon.
He was with us for a little bit.
Sorry.
Preseason.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I remember it. No, yeah, it was just the preseason. I think it was last season or the season before he was with us.
Yeah. And then we got like Kobe Durant, who you had mentioned before. And it's quietly a secondary that has a healthy balance of veteran players, second-year players, and some influx of talent to it.
So with you guys, I guess moving past this game, not really, not trying to move past this game, but this season, I guess, what's your outlook? Are you looking to? Because with the Seahawks last year, I didn't expect us to make the playoffs. Let's be honest. I thought we weren't as bad as everybody thought. I'm sure you think that about the Rams. You think you're like a 7-win team, which is what I thought of the Seahawks last year. And you get a couple lucky breaks, right? Like the Seahawks did last year, and we're in the wild card, getting our butts kicked by the 49ers nonetheless, but we were in there. With the Seahawks, all I wanted to see last year was see the young guys improve throughout the year. That's what I really wanted to see. Now, is that what you guys are kind of thinking? Or like, what's your guys' goal this year as fans?
I think competing to make the playoffs is in the goal just because of having Aaron Donald, having Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay. Like I don't see Sean McVay being a coach who would want to be like, oh, we're content winning 5 to 7 games or things like that. A lot now. Again, I stand by this, and I'll live on this hill. We don't know what this Rams team is, just because we were so banged up. There's been so much, like turnover, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I do think there's optimism, rightfully so, just because besides Cooper Kupp and Stetson Bennett, our backup, is injured right now, and then we have a third string tight end who went on IR as well, Hunter Long. We are healthy. And we're not, in the same era that we were in last year, where it's just like, who's starting on the O-line? Like we actually
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, like
quarterback. It was like, what?
Yeah, and so with that, like I really do think people are sleeping on the Rams because like Ram fans know we were a super banged up team last year, and that was a large part of why we lost so much. This year, given our coaching staff, given the influx of new talent, I really believe this is a team that's going to be more competitive. I think because it is such a young defense, we will have some moments of like, oh no, right? But I also think we're going to have some moments of like, okay, did not expect that. And it's kind of fun being a Rams fan right now because, when the Rams are like Super Bowl contenders, there's like the bandwagon people that are like, yeah, I like the Rams. And then now,
I totally get it.
Yeah, no, they're gone, right? And it's only the hardcore fans that are left.
Yeah, and that's how it was. I mean, even just last year with the Seahawks, there were people that hopped off when Russ got traded. And it's like, you root for the laundry. You don't root for the player, right? You root for this laundry. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. No, totally. Couple of quick shout outs here. Thanks everyone in the chat for tuning on in. Appreciate you being here. I see John J from 49ers Ultimate Report. We got some Niners fans coming in here. Oh, I see you guys care about our teams. That's so nice of you.
Yeah, they're my those are people I hang out with. I hang out with a lot of 49ers fans, and
yeah,
it's kind of fun being the misfit, right? And hopefully it'll be more fun on Thanksgiving when we get a dub against them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, speaking of, shout out to SM. I'm not sure if that quote was fake, but I just saw it on Twitter and I thought it was interesting. We got Brian Culp in the house. Good to see you. He obviously likes your channel more than. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I love that Jason. This is a great one. Talk about an unholy podcast with the Rams and.
Oh yeah, right.
We got Watchman 77. Good to see you. I know he's excited cheering on our Rams. But yeah, and SM agrees with me. Don't know about playoffs, but we truly believe the Rams will be more competitive. They'll get credit for. Up and coming Rams content creator Rams Oholic, who I'm collabing with on Monday. Really excited to hang out with him.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, if you're looking for another Rams guy, go sub to him. He's getting started, but he's growing fast. It's gonna be, and he knows his stuff totally.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty tired of you, to be honest. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's fair. That's fair. No, that's fair. Sinjin in the house. Good to see you. Is it Saijin?
Yeah, maybe Saijen. Yeah.
I've literally for years I've been calling him Sinjin. Wow. Okay. Anyway, guys, we appreciate everyone in here coming on in. We got Bebop Jones, appreciate you. Let's get back to the preview here, but that's so funny. Side anyway. Joe, question for you. Okay, I want to talk Geno Smith for a bit here.
Yeah,
because anyone who's not a Seahawks fan, including myself, has this like hot take about Geno Smith that's not a hot take. Because it gets like, to me, a hot take is like rare, it's different, things like that. But I've heard so many people from other NFL fans, and you've heard this too, being like, Geno Smith, he was a one-year wonder. I don't see him, duplicating what he did last year. And it's like this expert analysis. But like, where is your faith level in Geno Smith as your starting quarterback at?
I give it 100%. We're on board with him. Let's be honest. I don't see him regressing. I really don't. I don't see him progressing either. If that makes you guys feel any better, I'm not delusional thinking, oh man, this guy's going to be AP All Pro, the first team this year.
Yeah.
But I am thinking, as long as he gets the ball to where he needs to, his job is to be the point guard of the team, right?
Yeah.
So he needs to get the ball where he needs to, and not hold the ball for too long, and I think he'll be fine because he did awesome at that last year. That's what he did, and you didn't see any signs of regression throughout the year because he started pretty hot. Like he started hotter than the middle of the season. I wouldn't say he regressed. I'd say the team as a whole kind of was slipping for a while, and then he ended pretty strong. I don't see him regressing. I don't know if you do personally. And what would make somebody seem like that other than just history of him?
Yeah, I honestly think Geno found his like what he is as a quarterback, and he's surrounded with talent, at the wide receiver position, and he's got a steady run game. And I think if the Seahawks are allowed to run their game plan, Geno Smith is very dangerous. I'm not convinced that Geno Smith is someone that like, okay, if you're down 10 in the fourth, is Geno Smith the one that's going to lead that comeback? I'm still not that he can't do it, but is he going to do it every time, if you know what I mean?
No, and that's the thing is there's so many weapons around him now that's what I love about this team compared to past Seahawks teams is, let's say 2018 is when it really started because that's the year that the LOB was officially dead, right? Everything was on Russ's shoulders at the end of the game. But if we can get a screen pass to Lockett, Metcalf, JSN, Walker, Charbonnet, right? I mean, as long as he gets the ball there and doesn't make dumb decisions, that's what I want from a quarterback. Let the guys get open and make your throws. So if that explains at all, I don't want him to be a Mahomes. I don't want him to to be a Josh Allen. Nobody's asking him to do that. They're just asking him to make the right decisions, and which he showed last year that he was very well capable of doing. So.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if that was dancing around the question at all.
I don't think it was. No. Like that's the beautiful thing about it, especially right now. Like not a snap of, well, I guess some snaps have been played on Thursday, but other than that one game, not a snap of football has been played, and so it's going to be interesting. I think Geno went from having no expectations to now he does have them, and so it's going to be interesting to see if he can meet those expectations or exceed them or not beat them. So,
yeah. Well, the only thing I'd say about that, about people saying, "Oh, that Geno has expectations now and he won't perform," is the fact that Pete and John had expectations for him last year. Obviously, going into the season, for one, and then mid-season last year, you can't tell me there was nobody that had expectations of Geno week 8 last season.
True.
So he did. And I mean, he's handled it like a pro. He's definitely matured a lot, not only as a player, but as a person. And that's what you love to see. Because I hated our quarterback the last 4 seasons. Because it felt like he was a prima donna. It felt like he was more worried about being a celebrity than a quarterback. It's just like a breath of fresh air with this guy. It's awesome. So
he's really earned it, right? Yeah, absolutely.
And humble. He's a guy who, he's not going to talk a lot of trash. He's not going to be like, not even talk trash, but just me in the media. He's not at all going to be like that. So it's just a breath of fresh air from what we've had the last 10 years, more specifically the last 4 seasons.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sorry, I can go on and on about Geno.
Oh no, I feel the same way about let's talk about the Rams quarterback situation.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, so Matt, I honestly mean it when I say this. Matthew Stafford has looked great throughout camp. Like in terms of like health, Matthew Stafford is healthy, and I know that there's people that will question that, things like that, but like I honestly think one of the best moves that the Rams coaching staff made last year was shutting Matthew Stafford down for the year when he maybe could have played towards the end of the year, but they didn't play him. They really just let him get healthy. And I think that, Matthew Stafford is going to remind people like John Jay from Ultimate Report here, that he is an elite arm talent in this league. And I know that Cooper Kupp going out that's a blow, right? He's such a talented wide receiver. But what I'm hoping for, and I know hope doesn't win the game, but I have to rely on it, is Van Jefferson is a solid receiver. He's healthy. He was injured last year, but he's a solid receiver. Mm-hmm. Tutu Atwell and Ben Skoranek are players that they get a lot of hate from other teams and Ram fans, and a lot of people don't even know who they are, but they have gotten better each and every year of their career. And we saw that last year, and the hope is that they come in and they can do that.
Yeah, if Baker Mayfield didn't underthrow that ball to Tutu Atwell in overtime, if that was Stafford in that game, that would have been a touchdown. If Tutu would have held on. So I completely understand. He got it.
No. Like Tutu he can be a weapon, and if especially Tutu, if he's continued to develop his game, he could be a factor in this offense. We see that every year where these players that they develop and get better. And then the one like wild card here that is interesting to me is Rams rookie wide receiver Puka Nacua, who we only really saw a bit of him the first preseason game, but he's the player in Rams camp that we've been like, oh man, like this guy's turning heads. He fell in the draft to the 5th round mainly because of injury concerns. Some people say he was a 1st or 2nd round talent. And I'm excited to see him. And it's important to have players like that on your team where, okay, yeah, he's a rookie, but there's a lot of hype around him. And so because Cooper Kupp isn't there, we're going to have a plethora of options. And Pete Carroll said even earlier this week, saying that, when they don't have Cooper Kupp, you don't really know who they're going to be throwing the ball to, that adds a different wrinkle into the game plan. So,
and is Higbee still there?
oh yeah, big rig Tyler Hick. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's a guy that's just torched us throughout the
Yeah.
years, or the past couple of years, because I mean, if you know anything about Seahawks football, we can't seem to cover a tight end. So it's like that guy's always scared me a lot. So
Okay, so fantasy manager, start big rig Tyler Hick.
I would. I mean, we definitely shored up a lot. Our defense, hopefully, a lot. Knock on wood. It's looking a lot better, at least when it comes to fits, especially against the run. As you know, we were 30th against the run last season, which can't get much worse, right? We might 31st or 32nd. We completely overhauled our D line, and just in preseason, it's looking better. Just because it seems like everybody knows where their placement's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Where last season, in the preseason and going into the season, it's like the linebackers and the D-line weren't on the same page. And now we have Bobby back. We have Jordan Brooks, Devin Bush, all three pretty solid inside linebackers. Yeah, I like it. Mike Morris is actually going to play week 1. The only guy that's really questionable right now is Devin Witherspoon, the 5th overall pick.
Okay, interesting. That's good to know. And I gotta give a shout out here, Carcast. Good to see you, man. And our fantasy expert in the chat, Pure Journal Fantasy Sports, is saying that Tyler Higbee is their number 5 tight end for week 1. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, you can just add and drop tight ends that are playing the Seahawks all season. If history repeats itself, that'd be a good move for all you fantasy owners out there.
Yeah. I have one more thing I want to talk about, but for those viewing, if you do put questions or comments in the chat, Joe and I will definitely react to them. So Carcast, I will get to that question in just a moment. But one thing I do want to talk about is, what is your view on Seattle's run game now currently? Because I kind of know in the Seattle offense, that's kind of a bit of a bread and butter. Like most West Coast teams, you got to get the run going to set up the pass, things like that. What are your thoughts on the current state of Seattle's run game?
I think they're going to do the opposite this year, to be honest, with all the receivers. And I'm obviously not the only one saying that. There's a lot of Seattle guys on the radio saying it. And just with the plethora of options you have at the receiver / tight end, because a lot of people forget we still have Noah Fant. Yeah. And Noah Fant's not anybody to sleep on. No. So you got DK, Lockett, JSN, Noah Fant, even sprinkling Will Dissly. And I don't know if you've talked to anybody in Seattle, but Jake Bobo is everybody's hero. He runs a 4.940, but oh my God, he looked awesome in the preseason. You know what? I'd love for this guy to work out. I took my wife to training camp before the first preseason game, and she goes, "Who's that white guy with the mullet?" I go, "That's Jake Bobo, but he's not going to make the team." And she goes, "Yeah, he is." And I go, and my wife doesn't watch football, by the way. And I go, "No, he's not." So, anyways, he showed out on offense and special teams. So I really think we're going to pass to set up the run this year, which I think it could be totally effective. Obviously, Shane Waldron's our offensive coordinator. You guys know him pretty well. So last season, we saw him incorporate a lot more of that just needless motion before the play to like just distract everybody. As far as the run game specifically goes, we got a new center this year. That should help a lot. I don't know if you watch our center last year at all. He was absolutely horrid at run blocking and pass blocking, and just he was pretty good at snapping the ball. That was about it. So hopefully we got an upgrade there with Evan Brown. I believe.
Wait, is he a rookie center?
No, he came from Detroit last season.
Okay, cool.
So and then possibly Phil Haynes, our right guard. He's questionable for the game. So we might have a rookie there. I believe it would be Alan Bradford from don't kill me if I'm wrong, but I believe Michigan. I could be completely wrong thinking of somebody else.
Okay, no, it's okay. I'll let you live. No, just kidding.
But yeah, no, I think our run game is, as long as Ken Walker can hit that hole and the hole's provided by the line, I'm pretty confident, especially with Charbonnet there. We got a good power back. We'll see. Sorry for going on tangents.
No, it's cool. See, I'm just because I'm so curious. The Rams were actually somewhat decent against the run last year, but that was because we had Bobby Wagner. But I am excited because Ernest Jones, he's in his third year. I expect him to be a household name by the end of the year. He's a linebacker for the Rams that's gotten better each and every year. He's actually one of our captains this year, so really excited for him that he's worked into that. And the guy I'm excited for, and anyone who watches my channel knows I'm excited about him, Michael Hoyt. He's got, you haven't heard the name, but he last year got moved to the kind of the defensive end pass rusher position.
I feel like I do know that name.
Well, he's a Canadian. He's a Canadian.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. Sorry.
No, it's cool. But anyway, I'm really excited to see him because with Aaron Donald back in the middle, we're going to see if Michael Hoyt can actually produce here. But anyway, let's get into a couple of these questions here that have come in from our viewers. And again, thanks everyone for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe to both our channels. Carcast asked Peo, what are your thoughts on Pula? I think you mean Puka Nacua. And I was saying earlier, Carcast, I'm really excited about him. Still an unknown because he is a rookie, but he's worked his way into having a role on the in the game plan. So I wouldn't be shocked if he has some catches and he might even get a touchdown or something on. I picked him up in a couple of my fantasy leagues just to stash on the bench because you just never know, especially with Cooper Kupp out. There's a lot of targets available because the Rams like to throw the ball, right? And Joe, I know you don't know who Puka Nacua is, but
when you said his name, that's the first time I heard of him. To be
I'm hoping you don't like him at all by the end of tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm hoping you hate Jake Bobo too. So
that's fair.
Right back at you.
Yeah. SM asks questions for both of you. Which game are you most excited for, other than the Rams and Seahawks this weekend? Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, this weekend?
Yeah, I'm assuming this weekend. Yeah.
Well, the Seahawks is not this weekend, but the Thanksgiving game against the 49ers is obviously what every Seahawks fan is looking forward to for the season. This weekend would be maybe the Steelers 49ers. What do you think? Sorry.
No, so this season for the Rams, I'm really excited when they have the Super Bowl rematch with the Bengals on Monday Night Football. I'm excited about that. I know everyone's like, oh, the Bengals are going to trash the Rams. I'm hoping the Rams will go in and, I don't know, Aaron Donald will give Joe Burrow some nightmares a little bit. As for like a game this weekend, I'm really excited for the Chargers and Dolphins game. I think that has the opportunity to be a barn burner. So I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't even think about that. There's a lot of good, at least on paper, like we said, we haven't seen anything, but on paper, there's a lot of good matchups this weekend.
Well, and that's the fun thing about being an NFL fan. You don't know, right?
Exactly. And even we'll say week 5 when we know what these teams are, week 6, 7, you still don't know. And it's not like baseball where we can just drop one and be like, oh, it's okay, we'll get them next week, right? Mm-hmm. No, we got to win this football game.
Absolutely. Every game is so valuable. Yeah, for sure. I gotta give a shout out to Justin here. He's in the chat on his bus, rocking the bus life. Justin, we see you. Good to see you. Steve, I don't know if Justin's going to the game, but if anyone is going to the game, let us know for sure. Vermillion Sports Report, good to see you as well. A lot of people are high on Cam Akers for this game. And you had mentioned the Seahawks stopping the run. It was an issue last year. Cam Akers finished the year really strong. He's healthy. We're assuming he's going to be in some sort of featured back role. I would love to see a big year from Cam Akers. When I say the name Cam Akers, what are your thoughts? Like, is there fear?
To tell you the truth, I've always kind of thought of him as just kind of like a middle of the road running back. I mean, and don't take that personally or the wrong way. Like that's no shot towards him or you guys at all. But it's just kind of like I just, he doesn't like. He's not like Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson, when he used to come here, struck fear into your heart. You're like,
yeah, that's fair.
What I'm most nervous for about this weekend is I don't know how the Rams are going to hit us. I have no idea. And just likewise with the Seahawks, you don't know how we're going to hit you because it's week 1. You don't know. I mean,
sorry. I will say this. I do know the player I'm most worried about for the Seahawks.
Okay. Who is it?
I say this every time the Rams play the Seahawks. The player on the Seahawks that scares me the most is Tyler Lockett.
I figured you would.
Because
yep.
when Tyler Lockett gets a first down, it's different than any other player. And I don't know what it is, but like when Tyler Lockett gets he could have he could catch like a screen pass and take it, just barely getting the first down. The Seahawks offense gets into a rhythm. They go down the field and they at least get like a field goal or they score. Like I am much more concerned about Tyler Lockett than any other player on your offense. And it's not that he's like, I know everyone's always like, but DK is more talented, things like that. And that might be true. But Tyler Lockett, I would say, has better hands, and just in general, like for whatever reason, he is someone that can just like ignite a fire in your offense, and that scares me.
And it's not just against the Rams. So it's funny. You talk to people that don't really watch the Seahawks, right? And all they talk about is DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf, honestly, you guys, DK Metcalf is our number 2 receiver, and he has been since he came on the scene. Lockett is still a true number 1 receiver.
Totally.
He's so small. He doesn't have the physical presence. He doesn't have necessarily the attributes that DK has, but Tyler knows how to get open, and Tyler knows how to get his feet down, and Tyler knows how to catch the ball. So but no, I'm afraid of Cam Akers just because I don't know how they're going to come at us this weekend. I think that's the thing I'm most nervous for. It's not like if Cooper Kupp was there, at least I know that's my number 1 thing. I mean, honestly, that's my number 1 thing I'm going to have to think about this whole game. It's like we played the Titans a couple years ago, right? And they're pretty one-dimensional. And the first half, we just contained Derrick Henry. And the whole time I'm going, don't let number 22 go. Like, if that's the only guy you got to take care of. And what they do, he scored like 3 touchdowns in the second half. We lost. So, I mean, yeah, Kupp's one of those guys that you just got to constantly keep in the back of your head.
Oh yeah, like I would say that like the Tyler Lockett effect for the Seahawks, like Kupp is that for the Rams, and now that we don't have Kupp, we're gonna need other players to step up, right? And I think that we have the talent to do that. I didn't even mention earlier, signing Demarcus Robinson as a veteran receiver. Like this receiving group has more depth than it did last year when the Rams played the Seahawks. And again, they almost beat the Seahawks, even though they were super banged up. And I know that was, that was a true division game. The Seahawks were trying to and made the playoffs. The Rams were trying to play spoiler, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly. And that's another thing. I would not put this as a lock, as a win. Like I said, on paper it should be. But I don't care if it's the Cardinals. And the Cardinals, they're bottom feeders of the whole NFL this season. I'm still a little nervous to play the Cardinals more than I would be to play certain teams just because we know each other so well. Yeah. And obviously they don't know us as well. They got a new head coach, a lot of turnover. But Sean McVay knows Pete pretty good by this point. What was his first year, 18 or 17? So 17, right? Or no, 16, right?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, but anyway, he's been there a while, so
yeah.
they know each other pretty well.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Sean McVay was there in 2017. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. I had a brain labs. I thought brain labs. Yeah, no. 2017, one of the greatest years of my life. No, when Sean McVay got hired by the Rams.
Yeah, that was the year you guys spanked us at home, and I was like, oh my God, I remember going into that game thinking, boy, yeah, if we can sneak this one out, win next week, I think we can take the division. Is what I was thinking in my head. Boy, from the jump, I was like, yep, this isn't our year.
Oh, those are tough games. Those are tough here. I like dogs here just because you were talking about the Cardinals. He was bringing up this. He said, "Do you guys care that much if the Cardinals upset Washington tomorrow?"
I'd laugh.
You know what? For me, it depends how they do it. If it's like this shocking, like if it's more the Commanders lose the game more than the Cardinals winning the game, like I'd be like, okay, like cool, stuff like that. But if for some reason all of a sudden the Cardinals like destroy them like 53-0,
yeah,
I'd be like, okay, where did that come from? Right?
Yeah, Josh Dobbs, their quarterback, has been there.
Yeah,
Josh at like 450 and 5 touchdowns or something. Yeah, I'd be like, there's no way they can repeat it. One thing I did want to say about Ahkello Witherspoon, now that I see that he's 6'2" and I kind of remember who he is now, he did not look good in the preseason he played with us.
No.
I don't know if he looked good with you guys this year, but I just know that I just remember him sticking out, not in a good way.
He didn't really play in the preseason because I know like so the Rams traded for him and I think it was a good. Sorry, we signed him. No, we traded for a guard from the Steelers. No, yeah, no. Like I'm excited about Kobe Durant. So shout out Rudy here. Thanks for this comment. Kobe Durant, really excited about him. The Land Shark. Ahkello Witherspoon. He's a veteran. Presence to add to this secondary. I like that. And then Trey Tomlinson. He's a rookie. He's LaDainian Tomlinson's nephew. He's looked really good in the preseason when we've seen him play.
Better be fast. If he's LT's nephew, you better be quick.
Yeah, we'll see. Quinn Lake, a second-year guy, lots of potential there. He at times was solid last year, and you hope he continues to develop. Jordan Fuller, he's honestly a top-tier safety, just was injured last year, but he's a very intelligent player. So excited about him in this secondary. But honestly, this Seahawks wide receiving core is going to be a really good test for this young secondary unit. And I'm nervous, but like the good kind of nervous, excited for it.
Well, like I said, I know you have expectations for the Rams, but a lot of us, let's be honest, like me, I see a 7-win football team. That's just me, and that's just me being brutally honest with you. Obviously, you study the team more than I do. Like, I named one player on your guys' defense. So it's just, I'd just be looking for, like, I know you don't want to think this way, but say they start off the season 0-3 or 1-4 or something like that. I'd just be looking for steady improvements throughout the year. Like, that's what I really want to see. Like the Lions last year. I mean, look at how strong that.
Yeah.
They
finished here.
Yeah, we whooped them at the beginning of the year, right? And then at the end of the season, if they would have got into the playoffs because we'd have lost to you guys, I think they would have been a team to kind of reckon with in the playoffs. So
no, they definitely would have been for sure. Like they're a team that got progressively better throughout the season for sure. Rudy brings up that, and I'm glad I was going to mention this, but I forgot to. Is he said surprising he doesn't? That's my Rudy in person. Actually, he's a deeper voice. Surprising. No, that's not. I'll stop trying. Surprising he doesn't see Akers as a good running back. Akers ran through Seattle a couple of years ago in the playoffs. Yeah, that's true. It was pretty good in the last game, 104 yards rushing on 24 carries. And that was behind a super makeshift offensive line. This year, especially at the interior position, if the Rams are healthy and improved there, I think the Rams offense could get back on track to, not struggling to get past half.
No, that was no disrespect towards Akers. I just don't see him as the guy. But like I said, I watch him twice a year, maybe 4 times if they're on national media or national games. So
I definitely think if Akers is locked in, he does have the potential to be a top tier quarterback, top tier running back in the NFL. It's just health has always been a concern with him at times, and then also just getting decent, blocking on it here. Rudy has a question here for you. He says, does it bother your guess that that's you, Joe, that the NFL sees Geno as still Geno, meaning he played good last year but regressed as the season went on? We see him being as good as last year. So we talked a little bit about this, but do you want to expand on Geno Smith?
Yeah, so what I'd say is I don't think he regressed as the season went on. I'd say he got a pretty hot start. And then towards the middle of the season, he wasn't like Mahomes or anything. He made a few mistakes, right? But then what I look at is really the last 3 or 4 games, he picked it right back up where he should have been. And in the playoffs against the Rams, that first half, I mean, he looked solid. It was really our defense that lost that game. So I just say I was weary going in on Geno last season. I thought that Drew Lock was our guy, and I was wrong. I just say, just watch his demeanor, watch his poise in the pocket. I think he looks good, and I could be totally wrong, but I think he's going to be decent.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited to see Aaron Donald and see if he can get after Geno on Sunday for sure.
So say we're double. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Say we really lock down Donald all day because we're sending 2-3 guys after him at a time. Who else are we looking for? Who's
so
that
Michael Hoyt, who I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
I'm calling him the Canadian Yeti. Hoping that catches on. And then we will have like pass rushers through rotation. The really kind of the guy wearing the green dot this year is Ernest Jones, who I'd mentioned before at the linebacker position, who apparently had a really good relationship with Bobby Wagner last year, and Wagner taught him a whole lot. So you hope to see that development there. We don't know what this Rams pass rush is going to be. Like Aaron Donald, he's someone who can collapse a pocket. He's not happy with how last year finished. Like he's been very healthy his whole career. Like last year was like the first time in his career he had missed time because of an injury. And so I'm really excited to see Donald back on the field because I've seen every snap of his career, and he's such a treat to watch as a Ram fan. I'll quickly do this. Carcast, I'll be honest with you, I don't think Taylor Rapp was that much of a loss. Myself and a lot of Ram fans would get frustrated with Rapp. He wasn't the worst safety, but I'm not concerned, and I actually think with Jordan Fuller and John Johnson, our safeties might be better this year. And then Brian Cole, we just signed him. We signed Brett Maher. So
that's terrible, dude.
Hey, we had a rookie kicker who in the preseason looked really bad. So I'm okay signing a veteran kicker. I know Maher has had some horrible misses, but I'd rather a veteran kicker than what we had. So we'll see how it goes.
The Seahawks tried the Blair Walsh project after he got cut from Minnesota, and I'd never trust kickers again.
Well, I'll say this. The Rams had Matt Gay after he got cut by the Bucks, and he went on to be like a phenomenal kicker, and we couldn't afford him anymore, unfortunately.
But did he get cut for like missing kicks all the time, or was he just...
Honestly, I didn't follow the Buccaneers enough. But the Rams signed him like mid-season back in like 2020. Or sorry, no, that was 2019, yeah.
It was that recent. It felt like he was with the Rams forever for some reason.
Yeah, it's been like...
Oh, because you guys had Greg the Leg, right? That's who it was.
Yeah, and then when he left because of money, we drafted Sam Sloman, who was really bad. And then that year we had like 4 different kickers. We were like the kicker carousel team. That's just not fun. And then mid-season we got Matt Gay, who, for all intents and purposes, was a phenomenal kicker. We won the Super Bowl with him. So I'm hoping for that story with Brett Maher.
Yeah, kickers scare me, man. To be
Yeah.
completely honest, after a couple years with mediocre ones, you guys took our franchise's best kicker of all time, I believe, in Josh Brown, and
Oh
that's
yeah. Oh, I remember Josh Brown. Yeah. Yeah, he
yeah.
was great. Uh, um, I like dogs. Is question: if the Rams came to the AFC West and the Raiders went to the NFC West, who do you think would succeed more? That's a really interesting hypothetical question. There, I like dogs. Joe, just I like dogs as a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. So I'm gonna say the Rams just because I think the Raiders are a horribly ran franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, let's be honest. The Seahawks almost went back to the AFC West when
The realignment
so
happened.
so it was like the Chargers and the Raiders were going to move to LA or something, but they didn't want two division opponents sharing the same city, so they're going to ship us back to the AFC West and like move the Chargers to the NFC West. That obviously didn't materialize, but that was in the talks. So
Totally, yeah, and it's always funny, when I think of if the day ever comes where the NFL does realign because they add like more teams and things like that. I'll still always like, even if like the Seahawks move to a different division or the Rams move to a different division, I'll still, because it's like embedded in me, I'll still view the Seahawks as like that team. Like I remember, like, don't take offense to this, but like Ram fans calling them the Scumhawks, like whenever they beat them, like, oh, the stinking Scumhawks beating the
yeah,
Rams, or like, yeah, we beat down on the Seahawks, or like I saw the funniest meme I've ever seen for trash talking the Seahawks.
mm-hmm.
It was a picture of a seagull, and it was literally like, can we just remember that a Seahawk is just a cool way of saying seagull? Man, but
No,
I'm sure you've seen the same about the Rams and 49ers, and well, no one really trash talks the Cardinals because, like, yeah,
almost especially this year, I kind of just feel bad for the I don't feel bad for the Cardinals. I hate the Cardinals. I feel bad
yeah,
for their fans, and I'm one of
yeah,
those people, like, I don't hate the fans of other teams, right?
yeah.
Unless they're a total jackass, and I've ran into a lot of jackasses. Like I said, I go to every Seahawks game. So anybody in the chat, if you're going to be there on Sunday, you know where to find me on Twitter. Hit me up. I'll probably be at Tacos and Tequila before the game. We'll get a beer or something. But yeah, I don't hate the fans. It's that I hate the team.
Yeah. No. Totally feel that. Totally feel that.
I mean, obviously, there are certain ones that I can't stand. Like, I haven't been to a Raiders game. Those are the only games I don't go to. Last Raiders game I went to was 2007 or 6. I don't go to them.
No, that's fair.
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, it's still cool though that you get to go to Seahawks games. I know I'm far away from where the Rams play, but I'd go to every game if I could. But I'm thankful I get to be on the internet and host watch parties for all the Rams games.
I don't know how you do that. I can't watch the Seahawks. I have too much of a mouth during the game. I don't know if I could. It wouldn't be FCC appropriate, that's for sure.
You know what? Well, for me, whereas like there's no other Ram fans where I live, so like for me, it's a community thing of like I love watching the game because other Ram fans like watch it with me and like will react with me, and that's to be honest,
Yeah, it's almost like having a buddy, watching it in your living room with you or something.
totally, yeah. Because for me, it's therapy, right? So I don't have to watch it alone. I can be like, that was such a bad call. Why'd you call another third and long bubble screen, Sean McVay? But then at the same time, be like, yeah, that third and long bubble screen worked this time.
Yeah, at least through the ups and the downs, at least you're with those ups and downs with other people, and that's what I tell everybody. So like, you don't have to be the biggest Seahawks fan to go to the Seahawks game. You don't have to be, at least us Seahawks fans, when we're at the game, at the stadium, I think the reason that we don't get into it with each other unless somebody's like totally drunk or something is that everybody's there for the same common goal. Like, nobody's going to judge you. We're there to root on our team. And then I'm there. I give I give crap to other fans, but I do it in a joking way to where I make sure that they know I'm joking before they get mad at me. And I expect them to flip it back to me. So
totally, yeah. On that note, I want to. I know we're almost an hour here, but I want to get your thoughts on Jamal Adams. He's injured. He's out. But like, when you heard that news, were you surprised when that happened?
I'm surprised that he's on track to play within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I really didn't think there'd be a chance he'd play week 1. But obviously, he's not. Looking like maybe next week. I'll tell you what. I'm obviously not impressed with Jamal's coverage skills. I'm not impressed with Jamal's ball skills. Some people hate me. Some people love me for saying this. This is like the number one thing that has divided the Seahawks community. I'll just tell you right now, Jamal Adams trade was a bad trade.
Yep.
And it sucks that we gave up that much. It sucks that we gave up that much to get him. Because I think he'd be viewed a lot differently if we didn't give up 2 first-round picks for him.
Yeah.
Anyways, they're going to use him a lot differently this year. I think he'll be more like a hybrid linebacker. We got Julian Love from the Giants playing strong safety. Obviously, Quandre Diggs, free safety. Tariq Woolen, Mike Jackson, Kobe Bryant. And then we'll see where Witherspoon fits in. I think he should play in the slot. Yeah. I don't know what my thoughts on Jamal is I hope he can get better at coverage, but he's a little old for that improvement to be made.
That's fair. And for the record, like, sure, it was a bad trade, but like the Jets didn't do anything with those picks.
They got Garrett Wilson.
Oh, is that okay? Well, okay, so they might still do something there then. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But Saijin said you are not alone with that trade there, Joe.
I know I'm not, but there's a lot of people that are against me too. It's a totally if they would have gave out 1 first-round pick, it would have been one thing, but the fact that it was 2.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's been 3 defensive players ever traded for 2 first-round picks. Jamal Adams, Jalen Ramsey, Khalil Mack. Now, yeah. I think you can see which one is the outlier, right?
Yeah, ouch. Yeah, that's fair. Quickly, I Like Dog says, who do you think wins between the Packers and Bears tomorrow? I'm going Bears.
I'm going Packers.
Okay, fair.
I think Love will have a pretty good debut.
Yeah, that's fair.
Plus the Packers. I know they had Rodgers, but I think the Packers have owned the Bears for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Bears fans have been talking a lot of smack all off season, considering they were the worst team in the league last year. But we'll see. Saijin, I have no clue how to answer this question. I've not done research. It depends where work would take me, but it'd be cool to live like close to the Rams. I wouldn't mind. The States is cool. I'd be pretty content anywhere. Anyway, that being said, Joe, this has been awesome, man. It's been fun talking Rams Seahawks. Good luck to your team tomorrow.
Yeah, you too, man.
I hope, obviously, they lose. But regardless, totally respect you as a fan, as a content creator. Really appreciate you reaching out for this collab. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it. I mean, sorry I went on so many tangents, but it's almost football season. So.
Oh yeah, no, totally, man. No, dude, I am so glad. Like, people who don't understand like the content part of being like a content creator in the off season, a lot of your content has to be like highly speculative or just reporting on news that might happen, right? Like, should the Rams trade for this play? Like, and I don't like doing that kind of content. I kind of stopped doing it. Like, unless there's an intelligent discussion, I'd rather, just keep it, okay, let's talk about what's actually happening. Let's talk about like previewing a game like this, right? like getting the meat and potatoes of it, you know.
Mm-hmm. I'll definitely. So, are you going to be live streaming the game?
I'm hosting a watch party tomorrow. Pumped for it. Yeah.
No matter what the score is, I'll pop in on halftime at halftime, and I'll just say what's up. Possibly
Cool.
the worst band in the world is playing at halftime. So.
Yeah. We'll see. Okay. One other quick question I had for you. What player on the Seahawks are you most nervous about tomorrow? And I'll say the same about the Rams.
Like as far as getting exposed,
Yeah.
Witherspoon if he plays, our rookie 5th overall pick. If he does not play, number 52, Darrell Taylor. I want to see him get to the quarterback. I don't want to see him get dominated like last year.
Okay, that's fair.
I want to see him make improvements on the run game too, because that's a huge thing. It seems like he didn't try on run downs, and that's very frustrating. Go ahead, you.
No, for me, I'm gonna say Tutu Atwell just because I do think he is gonna have an expanded role tomorrow. I actually think it's a really important game for his career tomorrow, Tutu Atwell, and not to he feels all the pressure in the world, but just it's his 3rd year. We drafted him in the 2nd round. There's a lot of reason where it's like, okay, Tutu, it's time to arrive, right?
I don't know if you know this. We have a guy exactly like that in DS Grids, 2nd round guy. He was our first pick of the draft.
Yeah.
And he's been nothing for the past, and this season he's suspended the first 8 games. So
that's brutal. Well, see, with Tutu, we've at least seen flashes of like, oh, this guy is an NFL caliber, wide receiver. I would love to see, some big plays from him. And I don't see Johnny Ripple here. Yeah, he's saying with 2 TDs tomorrow. I love that. Would love that. But I would say that's probably who I'm most nervous about tomorrow. But obviously, like, I'm just so thankful NFL football is going to be back.
I can't. It seems surreal that you're saying tomorrow,
right?
I mean, because it's less than 24 hours. I'm bad at math, but I think
this time tomorrow we will know who won the game.
Yeah, and you can talk all that noise to me if you guys win.
Yeah.
What's your also before we leave? I'm so sorry, it's past an hour, but
no worries. I'm cool. Whatever.
Finals. Actually, 2 questions. What Seahawk are you most afraid of? At least exposing you guys, and then what final score?
Tyler Lockett, as I said before.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to pick Tyler Lockett, probably I'll say Geno Smith. Just if he gets hot, something like that. But for me, it is Tyler Lockett, just because I'll say this: the Seahawks without Tyler Lockett do not scare me nearly as much as the Seahawks without DK Metcalf. Right?
Exactly,
yeah.
And that's what people don't understand. People.
Yeah.
But now that we have Jackson Smith and Jigba, we have that guy. So we've had games where DK's been out, and we've had games when Tyler's been out, and the other one suffers because they're there alone. There's no number 3 receiver to be found. And now that we have Jackson Smith and Jigba, hopefully he can be that guy. And eventually, I hate to say it, but eventually take Tyler's job when Tyler's out. So
yeah, we'll see. We will see tomorrow. I'm pretty pumped about it. And sorry, did you ask the second question?
Final score.
Oh, it's so tough. I just don't know what either of these teams are going to be. You know what? I think both defenses could have a bit of a slower start tomorrow. I think most of the scoring happens in the first half, and then the defenses kind of lock it down in the third quarter. And I think it is going to be a 1-score game, as often the Seahawks and Rams games are. I'm not predicting overtime, but I'm predicting I'm going to go Rams 27-23.
Okay. I'm actually thinking the opposite. I'm sorry. I think the offenses are going to get it going in the second half, just because it just seems that week 1, the first couple series is always the offense struggle, which is totally like just a thing in my mind because we scored on our first 2 possessions last year. So it's just a thing in my mind that seems true. But I'm going 31-21 Hawks.
Awesome. Well, everyone watching, thanks for hanging out with us, for tuning on in, for your comments. Make sure you subscribe to Joe on his channel, link in the description below. And I'm going to say it, and I'm sure you're going to say it. Go Rams.
Go Hawks.